are a lot right now, especially if you're the kind of person who, cares about the world and the people on it. And I'm not here to sugarcoat it. Just looking from a climate perspective, the last 10 years have been the 10 warmest on record. Despite the plummeting cost of renewables and a lot of people who care deeply about the planet, that line is still going up. And that sucks. It really does. But as tempting as it can be, wallowing in despair is not the answer. It can't be. And fortunately, there are a lot of people who aren't giving up. Let's go talk to one.
My name is Raul Garcia. I am the Vice President of Policy and Legislation for Earthjustice.
If there is one thing I'm going to cling to in these unprecedented times, it is that the nerds are here to gum up the works and make sure everyone is following the very important rules. Which is why I'm back again for the 9th time in a row to tell you about how Earthjustice, my favorite nonprofit law firm, is still out here defending our planet and our rights to clean air and water.
I work primarily defending our lawsuits and the laws that our lawsuits are based on from congressional attacks and what the president does on a legislative and executive capacity. So we are really focused on making sure that we're protecting bedrock environmental laws like the Clean Air Act, like the Clean Water Act. We're making sure that regulatory reforms that he's been after to gut the agencies that we depend on do not make it through congressional approval, and trying to draw every single obstacle that we can as he tries to pass things that are really shortcuts to legislative procedures in Congress.
Taking a step back, obviously the recent executive orders and stated goals of the Republican Party are disastrous for the planet and the people who live here. But we have been fighting for a better climate and environment, for equity and dignity for every person for a really long time. And the people in power, whether they are in red or blue, or you live in one of those countries with more political parties, are often the ones in the way of meaningful climate justice.
Our focus remains to work for communities on the ground. Our focus is not just to battle Trump, but to really stand with our clients and partners. It's very important to us that we hold these values no matter who is in power.
Despite the flaws of the project of the United States, and boy are there flaws, we do really have some impressive environmental policy on the books. There are entire organizations within the federal government with mandates to understand and protect us from pollution, prepare us for and recover from disasters. But for those institutions to do their jobs, we need the fundamental compacts of the US government to be intact. Earthjustice will continue to win on the Clean Air Act, but they will also defend the independent agencies and foundational principles of the US government from being dismantled by the people who cater to polluting industries and are more interested in their pursuit of power and money than the people they purport to represent.
Playing this kind of game is in our fabric. We are built for this, and we are well equipped for this. Not only have we done it before with the last Trump administration, but our organization is one that can speak incredibly well to what these laws do and don't do. And we have a series of expertise that is willing to take on a harmful administration in all sorts of venues, whether we're in Congress, whether we're in the courts, or we're in the court of public opinion. It's very important for us to bring everything down to how real people are experiencing the impacts of the policy that we write. Good policy never gets written behind a desk in Washington, D.C. Good policy is written when communities are engaged, when experts are consulted, and ultimately when all impacts are being studied and considered.
And good policy doesn't only exist at the federal level. It's electrifying garbage trucks, it's rewriting public utility charters, it's restructuring our electric grid and making sure everyone can afford to heat their homes. And most of that doesn't happen in Washington. It happens in state houses and town councils and community boards. Good news for all of us is that Earthjustice is working at those levels too. But even better news is so can you.
These times are times that call for us to be tenacious. We need to make sure that we answer the call, not just because of what might happen tomorrow, but because of what will happen 10 years, 20 years from now. I would prefer to answer a different call, but this is the one that landed on us. And so it's very important for us to fight the good fight and ultimately prevail.
If you want to learn more about what Earthjustice does and the amazing folks who work there, you can head to earthjustice.org or watch the other videos I've made about all the wicked cool work they're doing, from helping to electrify our postal fleet, stop the Dakota Access Pipeline, and keep our air and water healthy. And this is a Project for Awesome video. If you're watching this before Wednesday, February 19th, you can go to projectforawesome.com or click the link downstairs and vote for Earthjustice, so that a portion of the funds raised can go to giving the Earth a good lawyer. Vote for Earthjustice. Thanks.